Hey everyone, it's been a long time, but it's WWE Thoughts time. I have no idea what episode this is because I'm not looking at the thing, so I don't really care. I know it's been a while. I don't have as much time to do these things as I'd like to do, to be completely honest. And even looking at this video is going to look horrible because it looks like my eyes are closed in it the whole time. Whatever. Anyways, uh, what I what I wanted to quickly talk about, and this is going to be a really short video, is basically I want to talk about that NXT women's number one contender match that happened. Don't get me wrong, it was a great match. I'm not complaining about the match itself. I'm a little perplexed by the outcome, though. Now, don't get me wrong, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay have become more valuable as a heel asset, which, again, as you know, I in the past have been extremely critical of the NXT women's division, how quickly they moved so many women up to the main roster and so forth, and how they kind of left Auska to kind of carry the company all by herself. Well, Bailey originally, and then Auska as well, when they moved Bailey up as well. And my problem with the whole thing is that you've got these you've been trying to establish these characters and establish these characters and establish these characters and so forth. And it's part of the reason why Asuka's maintained the title for so long. She's had matches against Liv Morgan, who's slowly coming up. She's had matches against Peyton Royce and Billie Kay a couple times and so forth. They had the big Fatal 4-Way with Nikki Cross, another woman who's being very underutilized right now in NXT. They do have a decent crop of women again to kind of build the division around besides Auska now. They've got Auska, they've got Ember Moon, they've got Billie Kay, they've got Peyton Royce, they've got Nikki Cross, they've got Liv Morgan. They teased Ember Moon versus Auska. Now, don't get me wrong. Despite everything they've done, I think that could still happen. And if it's going to happen, the best time for it to happen is at the NXT takeover that will happen WrestleMania weekend, in my opinion. Um, but why they didn't just go with that right away is I can't fathom that. I don't understand why you had you have Asuka, who is undefeated as the NXT Women's Champion, and you've got Ember Moon, who's also undefeated. However, again, even though Ember Moon was not the woman that was pinned in that number one contenders match, she lost. She's technically not undefeated. Has she ever been pinned or submitted? No. But she's technically been defeated now, so it doesn't have the same effect now, which sucks. I thought it would have been so much cooler if they had announced this is a number one contenders match for WrestleMania weekend. Because let's be honest, WrestleMania weekend is not that far away now at this point. I realize people are talking, Fastlane. People are thinking WrestleMania is still a ways away. WrestleMania is not that far away. It's only a little over a month away. So booking a lot of stuff for that weekend, this is the time to be doing that, especially for the other stuff outside of Raw. Obviously, Raw's got Fastlane to still worry about, but SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live even, for the most part. I mean, obviously they're part of Raw, so they're on the Fastlane pay-per-view as well, but at least NXT and SmackDown, they don't, they should be focusing on WrestleMania weekend already and starting the hype, right? We've already got some hype because we already got Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, which is technically a Raw match. There's more hype from that. And by the way, I'm going to save this for another episode, but don't get me started with the SmackDown situation either with the world title. But anyways, back to the NXT women. It would have made more sense to say this is a number one contenders match for that WrestleMania weekend to face Asuka. It would have made more sense for Ember Moon to win, and you could go into that WrestleMania weekend undefeated versus undefeated for the women's title. It means that at this point, somebody's undefeated streak is over. Will it be Auska? Will it be Ember Moon? Who knows? For whatever reason, the WWE didn't go in that direction. Granted, this is not even for that weekend. For next week, this match between Peyton Royce and Auska is going to happen next week on NXT. it probably technically has already happened. I did see there was some spoilers up, but I didn't go through them, so I don't even know if the match was taped yet or not. But the point is like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would have Ember Moon lose. And again, they're going to sit there and go, oh, she's still undefeated. She's never been pinned. She lost. The thing about Auska and Ember Moon both was not only have they not been pinned or submitted, but they haven't been on the losing end of a match, period. No, they've won all their tag team matches. They've won everything. They have not lost a match. So I don't understand why now, like, again, they can build it up all they want if it gets to this point, but it's not, everyone in the back of their mind is going to be like, yeah, but, as Paul Heyman said, yeah, but, so I don't know, like, I was disappointed, and don't get me wrong, I get it, Peyton Royce has been working a lot harder, she's getting a lot better in the ring, you know, this for all intents and purposes is probably just a filler until they can get to Ember Moon, but then don't even have Ember Moon in the match. They should have just made it a number one contenders match between Peyton Royce and Liv Morgan, or Peyton Royce and Nikki Cross, or some, like, and by the way, help me wrap my mind around the logic of the choices for the number one contendership. Ember Moon and Liv Morgan, who, yeah, granted, were not in the Fatal 4-Way. But Peyton Royce was, and she was actually the one who got pinned. So how does she earn a shot at the number one contendership, but Billie Kay, on the other hand, who I've actually heard might be injured, which might be what's going on, but how does Billie Kay, who didn't get pinned in that match, not get a shot at the number one contendership? You know, Nikki Cross, who didn't get pinned, doesn't get a shot at the number one contendership. It's little things like that you always kind of remember in the back of your head. Like, I know you're supposed to suspend your disbelief when you watch wrestling and so forth, but when they do stupid little things like that, like, for logic's sake, don't really make a lot of sense, and they just hope you don't think about it. Oh, they're not thinking about it. They'll just forget about it. Except not everybody's like that. Yeah, some fans probably will completely gloss right over it and they'll be like, oh, whatever. But they got to understand that the majority of the people that are watching the product now are a little bit smarter to what's going on now. Again, yeah, they may not be I've said it a million times, they're not the majority of the people in the crowds at the shows. I get that. You know, that's why you can still get a half and half pro versus con crowd for guys like John Cena, right? It's because half the crowd is the little kids that love John Cena, or the adults that don't really have a problem with. I don't even have a problem with John Cena, and I wouldn't cheer for John Cena either, don't get me wrong. I mean, I guess it would depend on who he's facing, I suppose, but I don't have a problem with John Cena. I don't have the problem with John Cena that most fans seem to have. And the funny thing is most of the fans that I talk to don't seem to know what their reason they hate John Cena. Oh, it's John Cena, he always wins. Okay. So? Hulk Hogan always won too, and it ran crazy for like ever. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin barely lost himself, and John Cena does lose. Like, that's the thing. Well, John Cena never loses. Really? Why isn't he champion right now then? Oh, he's a 16-time world champion. Yeah, it means he's also lost it 16 times. So, you know, this whole thing of whatever. I get it. There's always going to be people in the crowd that are going to like people. And there's Roman Reigns, they're trying to build him up almost like the next John Cena kind of idea. He doesn't have that same effect. There are some kids in the crowd. You still see them. You see some adults that are in the crowd that have the Roman Reigns shirts. I've completely gotten off topic, I just realized. But, again, there's going to be people. There's going to be people in those crowds, mostly the younger kids, that are going to be completely glazed over by the thought of, like, oh, well, Ember Moon did technically lose a match before. Or, Peyton Royce was the one that got pinned. How does she get a shot at the title again? At a chance to the title again, but other people who didn't get pinned in that match don't. But I don't know. I think they've kind of blown it. I think they could have done it better, but it is what it is. So we'll have to see what happens next week. Like I said, for all I know, it's already been taped. I haven't really been paying attention. I didn't check spoilers or anything like that. So the match probably already has happened. I imagine Auska will retain the title anyways, because I can't see them having the title. Oh, you know what? Who knows? I remember going to a house show. It was the one where Miz and John Morrison won their first tag team titles from CM Punk and Kofi Kingston when they were the champions. And it was here in Hamilton. And I was at the show with my wife, and it was just a house show, just a regular house show, nothing special. And I remember it was the opening match, and I kind of, my wife asked me, oh, who's going to win? I said, oh, it's going to be CM Punk and Kofi Kingston. Titles don't change hands on house show. And literally 5 seconds later, the titles changed hands. So, they do things sometimes. It's curveballs. You don't expect it, but I don't think they're putting the title on Peyton Royce. She's getting better, but honestly, she's still green, and I'm not talking like her tights. She's green. Like she's still not as what's the word I'm looking for? Fluid. She's not as smooth, I guess, is the right word, and so forth. Don't get me wrong. They're great on the mic. They get the heat that they're supposed to get, and that's all good. But they need to they need more time. They need more time. Period. So, anyways, that's it. I'm not gonna do the WWE thoughts the way I used to do them anymore. Honestly, I'll probably just do them like this short little 10-15 minute videos where I basically bitch about something. So again, and because I thought about it during this, I'll probably get another one recorded probably right after this. I'll probably just do it right away, but I probably won't post it for a couple days, especially because I kind of want to see what's going to happen. But about the whole SmackDown title situation and so forth for WrestleMania. But again, like this is probably how I'm going to do them going forward, because it's probably going to be a lot easier just to quickly shoot these like this and so forth, rather, because like I don't have a lot of time, as I mentioned, so it's a lot easier just to quickly shoot this real quick on my laptop and be done with it. So that's it. I'm also going to probably do little rants and raves like this now also for video games as well coming up, because there's a couple things I kind of want to rant and rave about for video games as well. I got to be more careful with those, though, about what I say. But that's it. That's all I've got for today. If you agree that the WWE screwed it up, I'd like to know. I want to know what other people think. Am I alone in this? Am I the only one who thinks that the WWE screwed this up? I don't know. Let me know. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.